Hello, and welcome to Cranbrook's Local History for Children. Today I'm going to tell you about a very talented group of artists from Victorian times who chose to come and live in Cranbrook and paint its beautiful old cottages and houses and the people who lived here. The railway had recently been built, so they could now get to and fro between Staplehurst and London, where they sold their paintings. They became known as the Cranbrook Colony of Artists. I'm on the first floor of the museum where we're going to start our exploration, and I want to show you something very special. 150 years ago, this museum was several cottages, and F.D. Hardy, one of the artists, came here to paint his favourite subject, which was interiors of houses, old cottages in particular, and also the people, especially the children that lived there. Now have a look round this room with me. I want you to have a very close look at this fireplace and the chimney, and also the floorboards there, and the door, and out onto the landing, at the staircase, and this banister. And now have a look at this painting, which was painted by F.D. Hardy, from this very spot where I'm standing, I think. It's called The Chimney Sweep. You can just see his feet poking out from underneath that black cloth over the fireplace. F.D. Hardy had a painting studio in this old house in the High Street, alongside another one of the artists, Thomas Webster. Webster also painted local children. A famous one he painted was of a game of football on the ball field. The original was bought by the Football Association for their museum, although later it was destroyed in a fire. But luckily we have a copy of it. I found an account in the museum which I'll read to you. It was written by a descendant of the boy in the picture who's holding his arm. His name was William Evenden, and he and his friends attended the school in the churchyard, now known as Church House. Often when they were let out of school, they would go to the ball field to play the ball game. The ball was round and much larger than an association ball, and the idea was to place the ball in the centre of the field and then take sides. Friends were always on one side, irrespective of numbers, and then they used to use their weight to get it to the end of the field. These games were of a rough and tumble kind, and on one occasion the opposing team chased William's team from the field, and on the stile he received a broken arm when he was 10 years old, and he went for about 6 weeks without even having it seen to. Another artist was called John Calcott Horsley. He lived at Wilsley and had his studio in his house. He painted many beautiful pictures, mostly of grown-ups rather than children, but his most famous achievement was this, the first ever Christmas card, which he made at the request of Henry Cole, who was the director of the newly opened Victoria and Albert Museum. Look what that led to. I'm back in Cranbrook Museum, where I'm with the easel that was F.D. Hardy's, and there's a painting here that was done by his daughter of him. Now I'm wondering if you can find out more about the Cranbrook Colony artists. They did lots of paintings between them, and they're scattered in museums and galleries all around the country, but especially in the Midlands, like Wolverhampton. Now perhaps you could do some painting yourself too. Perhaps you could paint a portrait, or your house, or perhaps you could even paint your friends playing football. There are several more paintings to be seen in the museum, including ones by the other Cranbrook Colony artists, George Hardy, he was F.D. Hardy's brother, G.B. O'Neill and Augustus Mulready. So, next time you're in Cranbrook, have a look around you and you will see reminders that the Cranbrook Colony of Artists found their inspiration and made their homes here in this town.